Hiya! Happy New Year, everyone! If I sound a little weird, I'm getting over a little bit of tonsillitis. It should be better now, but, you know. Let's talk about the tier set, which we should have done a while ago. PTR still isn't up, so we don't have anything tested yet. There are no sims, just getting that out of the way. But let's talk about it. So, two-piece, it's a role-based system, right? So all melee DPS has this thing called Winning Streak. You get Winning Streak 10 procs per minute, and it's all spells and abilities, so as far as we know, no melee attacks, just spells. And it increases the damage of your Envenom, your Rupture, and your Crimson Tempest, all of your finishers by 3%, stacking 10 times, so maximum of 30. When you Envenom, Rupture, and Crimson Tempest, you have a 15% chance to remove Winning Streak. So, I did some math already before with how often we cast finishers, and so what this ends up being is roughly around 2 lost streaks per minute. So it's 10 procs, and you lose the streak amount twice per minute. Now, right off the rip, before we talk about the 4-piece, which is over there, it's really boring. It's just, again, another iteration of all the mastery stuff minus things. Like, this is essentially just mastery, but no garrote, no poisons. Okay, it's just very boring. I can't even say anything about it. It's just the same rehash of the last, 6 tier sets that we've had. So, little disappointing. But when you lose Winning Streak, then you get the 4-piece. Maybe, sometimes. We don't know. Because when you would lose Winning Streak, you have a chance to instead gain maximum stacks. We don't know what a chance means. It could be 100%, which if it isn't, would be insane. It could be 50%, which again would be insane. But looking at some other tier sets, it seems like these are just really undertuned, and I have no idea where it's supposed to be. If this a chance ends up being anything less than 100%, it'd be crazy. Because you gain the maximum stacks of Winning Streak for 4 seconds. So you just get 10 stacks of this buff for 4 seconds, and if you lose the streak twice in a minute, this is 8 seconds per minute at a 100% chance. I don't know, man. It's not great. So I don't know what's up with that. Now, the good news is this can't be removed, and they have 30% additional effect. So I would assume that it's 60% Envenom, Rupture, and Crimson Tempest damage, which would be a large number. But there's some issues, because this lame bonus that we have, this is not any less lame. This is not more interesting. It's just an added window, right? And 4 seconds is very short, because you have to remember, you are losing the streak when you cast a finisher, and it buffs finisher damage. So if you have a 60% buff, let's say, you probably want to use that on an Envenom. I also assume it doesn't snapshot Rupture and Crimson Tempest. If it snapshots Rupture and Crimson Tempest, again, that is a whole other can of worms. But I'm just going with the simplest explanation that you probably want to Envenom during these 4 seconds. But you Envenomed to remove the buff. So you remove the buff, the 4-piece procs, and now you have 4 seconds to get the combo points back, and then Envenom. Pretty tight. It's pretty tight. Imagine you go into an Envenom with less than half your energy. All right, you have 120 energy. Envenom costs 30, so now you're at 90. Winning Streak procs. You have 4 seconds to generate your combo points back and cast Envenom. Mutilate is 50 energy, so you cast the first Mutilate, then you have enough energy back to cast the second Mutilate, and then you don't have enough to cast the Envenom, so you have to wait a second to cast the Envenom, which means you are barely squeezing it into this window. So the window being really short means maybe forced pooling? Like, are we just supposed to always be at like 150 plus energy now? Because if we're supposed to be at a greater than 150 plus energy, right, you would have enough energy to mutilate 2 times and envenom, or even mutilate 3 times if you get unlucky and envenom. It's just like, is there a pass-fail? Is there supposed to be a pass-fail condition to, like, oops, you weren't at half energy when this procced randomly. It sucks for you. You don't have a 4-piece now. I don't. What is the point of this? It's very strange, and it just harkens back to, like, we're getting this arbitrary window that just buffs mastery-related stuff again, which is the same thing that we already have. Except this one's random, and I get the whole, like, theme is casino. I don't actually mind winning streak as a concept, but this just, it's so forced. It's so forced, and it's so boring. And, like, I'll show you some other specs. Now, before I do, I'm not saying that these are, like, good tier set bonuses. I'm not nearly a professional in any of these specs. So, you know, I'm just saying conceptually, this is what it could have been. Subtlety. While Shadow Dance is active, you can't lose winning streak. That's pretty good to my, in my head. Like, that's thematic to the spec. Right? Like, oh, imagine if you can't lose winning streak during Shiv for Assassination. That'd be cool. Like, that'd be at least a little bit better. Because instead of getting these arbitrary windows, you know that you're going to have winning streak during Shiv. Like, okay. You gain an additional stack each time you gain one, and you deal additional shadow damage per winning streak stack. Like done and dusted. You go into a Shadow Dance, you know your winning streak is staying, you're dealing extra damage, you're getting additional stacks, like you're ramping through your Shadow Dance. Like, okay, that's cool. Sure, like, it's the subtlety one buffs all of their finishers too, so it's not entirely interesting, it's just more damage. But like, I can get behind this. This is okay. Or the Paladin one. When you lose winning streak, you get the holy power you spent back. It's basically combo points, right? And for 4 seconds, I'm guessing this is for 4 seconds. For 4 seconds, you can't lose holy power, and the damage is increased. So that's basically what ours is, but just better. When you lose winning streak, get the holy power back. Why doesn't ours give us the combo points back? Why do we have to sit there in a 4-second window and pray to God that our mutilate crits? Right? Like, is the intention that we have to mutilate, that we have to pool? Because this is, like, when I say that I want pooling back, this isn't it. Like, don't pin this on me. Like, this is the worst way to do pooling, in my opinion, because it's just, you're sitting there waiting for an arbitrary thing to happen, and you pass-fail, you either have enough energy or you don't. It's not really that great for me. Why can't we get combo points spent back on the Envenom? You know, you just back-to-back Envenom? Like, this just feels like the Brett Paladin one just feels like ours, but better. You know what I mean? It's very strange. Not damage-wise, just design-wise, right? Or they could even go like an enhancement shaman route. When you gain a stack, the cooldown of something is reduced by 2 seconds. When winning streak is removed, the cooldown is reduced by 1 second for each, whatever, right? Like, you could easily replace this with, like, when you gain a stack of winning streak, the cooldown of Shiv is reduced by, 1 second. When winning streak is removed, the cooldown of Shiv is reduced by 2 seconds for each combo point spent. Like, something as simple as that would be, 1, more interesting, 2, an actual rotational change instead of just a mastery buff like we've gotten for the last couple tier sets, and 3, not reliant on whatever chance means. Like, I don't get it, you know? And I'm sitting here looking at these, and these, in my opinion, like, conceptually are better executed, in my opinion. Because we're getting shoehorned in this one into a window that we can barely hit with a boring buff, and that's it. They're like, there's nothing interesting about it. For example, the subtlety one, Their 2-piece reads the exact same, except it's Eviscerate, Secret Technique, and Black Powder. Right? So their 2 set is exactly the same, but their 4 set is significantly more interesting, and it actually augments the effect. It actually does something to change how the effect works. Right? The Paladin one has an impact on your resources. You get resources back. It feels like something is happening to your rotation. The Shaman one reduces cooldowns. That is a tangible feeling that you have as a player when your cooldowns get reduced. The Assassination one, you will probably have to track this with a weak aura, because otherwise there is no way to tell. Like, what is the indicator that you have as a player? What is the feedback you get in your rotation as a player when your 4-piece procs, when you lose your winning streak? I don't know. I don't know. This is like the set bonus for Assassination right now is just a weak aura set bonus. And when your screen lights up and goes, hey, 4 seconds, wah! Like, then you're like, oh, gotta hit my mutilate, gotta get my combo points back, gotta get my envenomment, my 4 seconds. I hate this. I hate this so much. It's like, I don't like being so overly negative, but it just does not fit the spec. The spec's gameplay is not this. Please. The patch is end of February. We have like a month and a half. PTR should be coming up soon for this. Please. Please. I don't even mind winning streak. There's going to be a lot of people complaining about the concept of winning streak and gambling, whatever. It's the theme of the patch. I could not care. Holy, change the 4-piece, please. I beg. It's so bad. Anyways, yap session over. I'll see you guys with another one, hopefully. Bye! I'll let you know when we have numbers and theory crafting and all that fun stuff for the next patch, and keep you updated and subscribe, whatever. I don't know how YouTube works.